So when you really start looking at food supply and the food supply chain, we start talking a little bit about sustainability and we talk about how food is sourced globally. So you have different types of organisms that are created, different types of fruits and vegetables that are now part of our food supply. And these are not necessarily always such a bad thing, but it does impact what happens in food, and that's a pretty big buzzword, GMO. So it can be okay. It can be just crossing a couple of fruits or vegetables, or it can be something that's pretty far out there, and people have some pretty strong opinions on that. When we start really looking at customer concerns in the food service industry, I feel like this has grown a lot in the last year. The restaurant industry has really come under fire for spreading the virus, and since COVID has come to be, it's been one of the first things that have gotten shut down when numbers in certain cities have kind of gotten out of control, and it's really been kind of looked at. But all in all, even the where your food comes from and government inspection of food is definitely it's a huge career opportunity. It's something that's really important. It's been looked at quite a bit as we have big outbreaks. I'm thinking like salmonella and peanut butter just not that long ago, E. coli in lettuce. We're starting to realize that having everybody's food come from just a couple of factories is not a good idea. When you have an outbreak, it impacts so many people, and maybe going back to some a little bit smaller on the industry is a good thing. And this is where a lot of chefs have really been looking as far as looking for food and what food they're serving. So the local production of food has a lot of benefits. Generally speaking, the last several years, most of our food comes from a commercial system of big farms and from all over the globe. But you can also support local or small or regional farms, and so you're putting money back in the community instead of giving it to a larger corporation. Chefs have really begun building relationships with farmers and may even grow some of their own ingredients close by or in and around the restaurants. Things like herbs and stuff like that, which are just super easy to grow. A lot of them grow all year round. I have quite a few herbs that I have planted, and some of them, like my thyme, dies back. My basil, it's gone for the winter, but my rosemary still kind of goes through pretty much the whole year. I could go out there at any time and get that. Green onions, they last out there most of the time. A heavy frost might kill them back, but within a few days, I have a couple more green onions kind of sprouting up. So there's just a lot of things that are just super easy to do, and so chefs have really been kind of doing that. And then they're able to offer fresh and um, just the best tasting food, and really supporting that community. So this is something that is it has a lot of benefits, both to the restaurant and to the local area. So we talk about sustainability. We talk about being able to last. These are practices that try to minimize that human impact on the environment. So if you're buying your tomatoes from 10 miles away, maybe I know, like, there's a local farm in Paris, Kentucky, and they have shrimp. Like, it's a big shrimp farm, and you can go and get fresh local, like, wonderful shrimp, never frozen. Or you can get some shrimp that maybe was harvested from, say, California or another country. So you start thinking about the amount of gas and fuel and energy it took just to get that shrimp here, when the farmer down the road, you could just drive down the road and get it, and it would be a better product. And so farmers are looking to avoid pesticides, reduce packaging. My I did a thing a couple of years ago where we tried to go, like, without any trash, and it just really was impossible because we buy food, and so I like to eat salad a lot, and the boxes or the bags that my spinach or lettuce or salad was coming in, I was trying to buy as many loose leaf things as I could, but just the packaging that food comes in, and sometimes it's a lot of packaging. It's like we buy it in a bag and bring it home in a bag, and then we throw it away in a bag. It's like there's a lot of bags and plastic in between us and just eating something as simple as a salad. So, compost, what composting means is that you would save your scraps. They will actually break down. So, food scraps will break down and become nutrients that you can blend back into your soil. This is not possible for some people, maybe that live, in an apartment or they're not gardening. I live out in the country and I don't actually compost around my garden because it can attract deer and rabbits and things that will eat my garden. But I like to just take my scraps and throw them out, particularly in the wintertime, out into the woods, and then the deer and the squirrel and the rabbits can eat it away from away from my house and still have that. So, fair trade are certified foods that promote sustainability. You'll usually see that on the label. Coffee is a big one. You'll see fair trade coffee. And products with this seal are just essentially working to try to make the world a better place and to lessen the harmful impacts on the environment and on the world so that we can continue to sustain human life and live a good life. Particularly some countries that utilize child labor or a lot of pesticides, so things that could be unhealthy for you or things that are just kind of harmful to other cultures.